Ms. White, question. Pat Ford, Coalition Radio. We've attempted over the last year to reach out to your organization probably 7 or 8 times. We've never benefited from a return phone call, including calling your communications person. So I have to ask you now. This may be the only time I'll ever get to ask you a question. Number one, specifically, what did the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce do on behalf of small business during the pandemic in terms of actual programs? I've reached out to a number of businesses and we haven't really been able to see much. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Specifically, what did the Chamber do to assist businesses?
I'm sorry?
What did the Chamber do to assist businesses during
Yes,
the pandemic?
specifically.
Yep. Advocates for providing assistance and PPP loans, also PPP supplies. We conducted and went through about 135 episodes of information on Chamber TV to help businesses learn about the issues and to be better prepared to fill out the loan application processes and to understand how to keep employees engaged, involved, help reduce costs, help them to find resources that can help them with their
Well, but in terms of actual aggressive public advocacy on behalf of businesses in Providence, particularly on the restaurant shutdowns, the masking issues, the arbitrary nature of some of these shutdowns, it's the concern by many is that what we call here big Chamber of Commerce's, Rhode Island Hospitality, Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce, were basically no-shows. Yet, on top of that, you make a significant salary. Folks were shocked to find that you make in excess of $250,000 a year, according to your Form 990. What's the value proposition in this Chamber of Commerce if, in fact, you weren't publicly on the front lines, like, say, for example, Federal Hill was, or the newly emerging group on behalf of wedding planners?
Your question is around business advocacy for members of the Chamber.
Yeah.
And we represent businesses throughout the state, as you well know. And we have been having a very aggressive business advocacy program that involves more than just COVID-19 activities. It involves a whole range of issues around the COVID response, around taxation, around environmental policy, around employee mandates, workforce mandates, other things that make it difficult for enabling small business to engage in Rhode Island and to participate in Rhode Island. And what I would say is that the Chamber is a representative of small businesses through and through. And at the same time, we were aligned with the work that the Department of Business Regulation was doing with stipulating the opening schedule and the closing schedule of those businesses that were subject to either capacity limits or masking mandates. So we were fully aligned with Governor Gina Raimondo and Commerce Secretary Stephen Pryor in helping to facilitate the mask wearing mandate and also to help make those affected businesses with resources in the community, financial and also informational, that would help them continue in their businesses.
But final question, and many would argue, and we've interviewed dozens of business people on video, for the record, that the very mandates issued by Governor Raimondo that you say you're in line with were what literally caused a near catastrophic collapse of the Rhode Island economy, many businesses never to recover, when in fact it wasn't necessary. And at the same time, why weren't you advocating for, say, similar shared sacrifice on behalf of Rhode Island government? I'm just asking you the questions people ask me.
Yeah, so there are lots of perspectives on lots of different industry organizations that advocate either broadly or in a more narrow niche for their particular industry sector. So the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce being an organization that has a wider lens, if you will, not specific to any one particular industry, but mostly representative of a mix of industries, major employers, mid-sized employers, and neighborhood small businesses, a variety of organizations. And what they told us as the Chamber is that they value our services and our advocacy for them, and also working to keep them in business through information and information sharing, and also the ability to frankly make contacts with individuals that can help them provide the information they need on either low cost or no cost basis. So there's room in this advocacy space for lots of different voices lots of different voices, lots of different perspectives, lots of different ways of advocating, lots of industry sectors that have a particular point of view, and there's room for all of those voices here in Rhode Island.
Okay, thank you very much.